I am rebooking every WCW event from '98 until the close of the company in 2001. Episode 2 will feature the World War III pay-per-view event live from Detroit, Michigan. The opening contest is a tag match between the Faces of Fear and the duo of Glacier and Ernest the Cat Miller. Both Glacier and Miller show off some good offense, but the experience of the duo of Meng and Barbarian are too much for two single stars to overcome. Meng locks in his finisher SND services a victory for the team. The second match of the night is for the WCW Television Championship. The challenger, the Disco Inferno, in all his aura, is set to fight Perry Saturn of Raven's Flock. Saturn is being accompanied by fellow stablemates Raven and Kidman. Disco tries his hardest, but ultimately taps out to Saturn's dreaded Rings of Saturn finishing hold. This will not be the last we see of Raven's Flock tonight. Up next is a grudge match of sorts, as Ultimo Dragon, representing the Luchadors of WCW, takes on Yugi Nagata of the newly formed NWO Japan. Nagata is being accompanied by his manager Sonny Ono, and the newest acquisition of the team, Shinjiro Otani. Dragon relies on his quickness and ability to attack Nagata, but after a distraction from the outside, Nagata is able to catch the masked wrestler off guard and secure the victory with a roll-up. Nagata celebrates on the outside as Dragon complains to the ref about the outside interference. The next match is for the Detroit crowd as the Blue Bloods of Lord Steven Regal and Squire Dave Taylor take on Michigan's own Scott and Rick Steiner. The tag team champions come out to a huge ovation and make very short work of the British tag team. The reigning and defending tag team champs celebrate with their home state fans after the match is over. The fifth match of the night is a Ravens rules match. It's no disqualification and weapons are legal. The leader of the group, Raven, is taking on Scotty Riggs, a wrestler that Raven's Flock has been harassing weekly on Nitro. Raven injured Riggs' eye in a previous match, and Scotty Riggs is eyeing to get some revenge on the ragtag group of misfits. The two wrestlers brawl, and Raven hits Riggs with a steel chair after a distraction from the Flock. Raven then focuses on the head and eye of Riggs, punishing him with the steel chair. After multiple hits, the former ECW champion plants Riggs with an even flow DDT and gets his hand raised in victory. It is now time to find out who's next, as the former Chicago Bears player turned pro wrestler, Steve Mongo McMichael, takes on a rookie that has already racked up an impressive winning streak. Over the last few weeks, Mongo has taunted Goldberg. Mongo says Bill Goldberg is nothing more than a Steve McMichael ripoff, and after Goldberg's 15 minutes of fame is up, it'll be back to the bench he goes. However, Mongo seriously underestimated how powerful WCW's most popular up-and-coming star is. Goldberg dominates Mongo, and after a few huge slams, Goldberg shows Mongo how hard he can tackle as he obliterates him with a spear. Following the spear, Goldberg nails Mongo with a jackhammer, and that's all she wrote. Goldberg extends his streak. And now for something completely different. At the last pay-per-view, Halloween Havoc, Rey Mysterio Jr. and Eddie Guerrero stole the show in a mask versus title match that saw Rey Mysterio Jr. picking up the victory after countering a top rope Black Tiger bomb from Guerrero. 2 weeks ago on Nitro, they had a rematch, and Eddie Guerrero picked up the victory after hitting Rey with the frog splash. They are now 1-1 going into this match for the WCW World's Cruiserweight Championship. Eddie, representing his family, is wanting to put the beating on Rey Jr., another multiple-generation luchador. To no one's surprise, they still the show again after a beautiful match mixed with Mexican high-flying and Japanese strong style. The match is back and forth, with both men hitting incredible offense, but it is ultimately the champ Eddie Guerrero that will come out on top following his finisher, the Frog Splash. Eddie wins the match and the series. Eddie is making a serious case to be named MVP of WCW in '97. It is semi-main event time as the NWO's own Curt Hennig goes one-on-one with the Nature Boy Ric Flair for the WCW United States Championship. This is another rematch from Halloween Havoc. Tonight's contest is a no disqualification match. Anything goes, falls count anywhere. Last Monday on Nitro, Hennig showed the ultimate disrespect to Flair by wearing his ring robe in a match with Lex Luger. The Hennig-Flair rivalry goes back to when Arn Anderson gave his spot in the Four Horsemen to Curt Hennig, but Hennig saw it as a way to trick the Horsemen and used it to win the last War Games match for the NWO. This match breaks down quick as the two brawl on the outside. Flair takes it to Hennig on the outside, and Hennig has to find a way to stop the assault by Flair. He eventually does, and after a wild fight that included multiple weapons, the United States champion picks up the pin, fall over WCW's ace with a Hennig Plex. And now, finally, we are at the main event for the night. It is an over-the-top rope battle royal for the #1 contendership for the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, currently held by Hollywood Hogan of the NWO. The winner of this match will wrestle the winner of the Starrcade 97 main event of Sting vs. Hogan. Every top contender in WCW and the NWO is in this match. Syxx, who is down to his late weekend of his contract with WCW, even makes an appearance. Even Hogan himself throws himself in the match to try to secure a night off for himself, but just as the match is starting, the lights go out and the riff of an electric guitar fills the arena. The pink lights glow as the entire arena is on their feet as former WWF champion, the wrestler of the 90s and arguably the wrestler of 97, Bret Hart finally makes his debut for World Championship Wrestling. He doesn't appear to be representing the NWO like Eric Bischoff and Rick Rude hinted over the last 2 weeks on Nitro. The NWO tries their typical NWO tactics. It ultimately comes down to Hart, Hall, and Hogan, but even the double-team attacks against Hart don't secure the victory for the NWO. Bret is able to withstand the offense. SND eventually eliminates both Hall and Hogan. Bret celebrates his victory as the entire crowd cheers and chants his name, and there you have it. World War III 97 is in the books, and the stage for 98 is starting to take shape. Bret is now not only in WCW, but he could very well be the ammo that WCW so desperately needs in their war against the NWO. That concludes Episode 2. Episode 3 will center around the Nitros leading up to Starrcade 97. As always, thank you, and please like, comment, and subscribe.